What's up, y'all? So, I wanted to record my day 2 of my phone fast. And I know time is fluid, but I did originally want to record yesterday morning because my first video was the morning before. So, yesterday morning passed, and then also this is actually the third morning. So, I probably will just make another video tomorrow and extend my fast for another day. So it would be technically 4 days. I was traveling back from Sayulita yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to record my thoughts. But yeah, I was a little torn and missing that because I really wanted to capture like the process and just things that were going through my mind at that moment in time with that specific time frame. But it doesn't really matter. I just don't want like my new thoughts to take over my old thoughts. But so the main things that were coming up for me on day 2 was just like temptation, right? Your fingers want to go to those apps that you normally go to every day. And if you're trying to detox from your phone or apps or social media or people, um, then I would suggest like checking the time that you spent on your phone or those specific apps so that you can keep track, like if you're actually spending less time. Um, so I think it's great to do this detox. So far, I've felt like it's just like a food detox, right? When you get rid of things that you think serve you, but they don't. Like maybe you're eating too much and or you know you're eating too much or eating the wrong things. Just taking a break from that and doing something different and seeing how you feel is very valuable. So as I'm doing this fast, I'm also reading the book Siddhartha, or rereading it, but I'm listening to it on audio form this time. So so yeah, it's kind of like guiding me with lessons and the story of Siddhartha right now. I mean, I finished the book, but just like being on the plane and falling asleep, and I'm just missing parts of it. And I feel like I could never read that book like too many times because there's always new lessons and things that I missed the previous time. So I woke up yesterday morning in Sayulita, and one thing was that I noticed that I got more sleep, just not being on my phone late at night or like listening to videos or anything like that. Just things that would fill my head like right before I go to sleep. I didn't do that, and I think I slept in till about 8 or 9, which is super late for me because I usually wake up at 5 or 6. So definitely, I think the things that you do before bed, the things that you see, the conversations you have, and the messages and thoughts that are in your mind before you go to bed can definitely affect your state of mind, your state of sleep, and your ability to rest. So, my next thing is trying to sleep with the phone in another room, like for a few hours before bed. Um, I don't know if you do that, if you're still able to just watch the same things on TV. Like, I think it's just the frequency of the phone and just being like this energetic like ball of just technology right next to your head. I think that's a big thing. So yeah, just knowing that I need that the frequency of the phone, like, and how much it affects my brain, is one thing that I'm noticing and that I'm wanting to take more of a break from. So yeah, as I said, like in the story, it was about 1 hour and 33 minutes in. It was chapter 5, and Siddhartha is on his journey, right, um, as a human, and he comes across this lady. I think they're like goddesses. They're different goddesses, right? And she basically tries to seduce him, and so at first he gives into the temptation, and he physically kisses her body, and then he hears a voice in his head that's like, no. This is the first time like he'd ever experienced anything sexual, or had an encounter with a woman, because um, as a monk, you can't look at women. Your eyes have to go down when you look at when you women come across your path. So this is his first time experiencing women and the beauty of women. Um, so once he heard that voice in his head that said no, he instantly, like, she became just like an animal in heat to him. Like, that's all he could see. And so he left her behind. He said sorry. He was kind to her, and he left. But he no longer had that desire for her, once he like looked within and listened to his higher self. So he continues on his path, and then he meets another woman, another goddess named Kamala. And I don't know if I'm missing anything, but I think she's just like the goddess of beauty. Her craft is love. Like, she teaches him like what love is, how to make love, and just the whole process of being in love, being rejected, temptation, and all of that, right? He wants to learn these things on this journey. Um, so he's trying to experience life as a human so that he can learn like what it's like to just be human and experience human feelings. And I think throughout this as it's happening, I believe that he's aware, but his true enlightenment comes from the reflection afterwards, when he's like succeeded through all of these lessons, right? So he goes on, he loves Kamala for like a long time, learns a lot of lessons from her, and she tells him that has become her best lover and has learned so many things from her. And then he continues his life on to be like a rich businessman, and everything, right? Like, he goes through all these experiences. He experiences greed. He becomes addicted to gambling. Like, he throws away the money that he makes. So he goes through all these feelings of that humans experience, right? And kind of just a reflection of how we can get lost in the material world, right? With gambling, drinking, partying, drugs. Like, we start losing sight of what our purpose is here on life as humans, or whatever we are, right? We don't really know. So it's easy when you don't have a purpose to just be lost. It's like having no parents, right? Like, nobody's looking over you, nobody's expecting you to be any certain way. Like, that's what it makes me think of. So yeah, so I just think it's really interesting, the journey that he's on, and in comparison to my mindset and my journey. So I think it's a great guide during a fast. So with reading that, and then what I'm experiencing is that yes, it's very, very hard to resist addictions and temptations. Even something as simple as a phone app, right? You might be like, I don't know, social media. People are on social media all day, hearing these messages about themselves, about others, about the people around you, and just like wiring yourself to believe these things on a subconscious level, and we don't even realize that it's brainwashing us or creating these like narratives in our head, right? That we later on act on, right? Like, I'm supposed to look like this. This is what beauty means, right? This is what will attract me to others, right? But yeah, I'm just super anti all of that because they're just all illusions, right? They're just illusions created by society and illusions created by the environment that we live in, and illusions and deceptions created just by governments and things like that that rule us, right? So even though it just seems like, and once it becomes everybody, it then seems normalized. Like, oh, it's not the internet, it's just my friend or my sister or my cousin that's telling me these things. Of course they're true, right? So it's really important to detach yourself from those things so that you can think for yourself and that you can just use your own intuition to guide you. And deep down, like, you know what's right, and you know what you need to do, but it's just a matter of finding that discipline and that motivation to do it, right? Whether you have like a project, or you are in school, or you are starting something new, like, you really need to just go for it. Don't let fear stand in your way, because anything is possible, right? Like, nothing is actually hard. It's just an illusion of being hard, right? Like, even, if you want to get like an engineering degree or be a doctor or anything like that, like, those are all things that are hard, right? Or they seem hard. But once you do it, I mean, I've never been a doctor, so I think it is hard. But once you do it, you train yourself and you teach yourself, like, you're prepared, like, it's not hard, right? Once you become good at your craft, and that's why people are able to function and do well in their positions, and it no longer becomes hard once you practice. So don't let like don't let something seeming hard stop you from doing what you want to do, and doing like what you're called to do. So let's see if there's anything else that I learned just in this last day was that, and as always, like before, when I've done like fast and things like that, for the first time, I've always been like very strict, and it's good to be strict at first when it's your first time, because excuse me, like, you have to have that discipline, and you have to be able to carry through, like, especially if you're just doing 3 days and you want to like not touch your phone at all, for example, like not even ever pick it up. Like, I think it's important to prove to yourself that you can do that, before you start cheating and slipping and like checking it sometimes. So just to know that you have that discipline in you, I would say do it. Like, if it's 3 days, it's only 3 days, and you're not gonna die. And I think showing to yourself that you have that self-discipline is very important. When I've done like fast, like food fast, after the first time, I would allow myself to cheat, and it would be better. And just to go with the flow of life and like listen to your body and what it needs. But then also, like, the more juice cleanses that I did after that, where I got into the habit of cheating and just being more loose with the rules, like, I ended up not being successful, and then telling myself that I can't juice anymore, like, it doesn't work for me. But those are just excuses, right? Like, I can juice if I wanted to. I guess um, my body may not respond to it the way that it did before. It might not be what it's needing right now. So, so So, yeah, I would say that day two, my lessons are um, just keeping that self discipline and that keeping that self discipline strong, and also clearing your head has been beneficial from social media and from everybody else's thoughts, like kind of isolating yourself from others' thoughts just so you can practice giving your intuition power, right? Like you need to be able to like take everything that you've learned, everything that you're teaching yourself, and apply it, right? And see what works for you and what doesn't work for you, right? Because like everything that I consume is mostly like educational, um, and just things that help me be productive, right? So um, I'm not like on social media watching like dog videos all day or anything like that, which nothing is wrong with that. But I used to just fill my head with mindless things because I wanted to escape from just like the reality and just how tired I was. Like, I just didn't want to think about anything, right? But now I feel like I just only want to consume things that help me, that like help my thought process and help and just better me. But sometimes it's just because I'm like, I have a cancer addictive personality. So when I am into something, whether it's good or bad, like I just tend to get super consumed in it. And just like with juicing and running, like, which is not bad to get into things, but it's also good to like take a break and to find balance, right? So hopefully the people around you can respect that and give you your space that you need. Um, so yeah, I think my main lesson is remembering to always find balance and going back to my intuition and trusting myself, listening to my own thoughts, um, paying attention to my dreams, and I guess, yeah, kind of switching the roles of like taking in less information now and alchemizing it into reality, and then giving my intuition more power instead of like vice versa, like feeding myself a ton of information and then barely giving myself time to process it or live it or whatever, right? So that's that's where I'm at right now. I think tomorrow, like I said, I'm gonna do another video and see if my thoughts have changed at all or have shifted, or if there's any new perspectives that I've gained from being off of my phone. Um, yeah, I think that's all I have to say for today. So hopefully you enjoyed this feedback. And please, any comments are welcome. I would love to know if you're doing a fast and how you're doing on your fast. Good luck to those of you who are. Yeah, but I'll talk to you later. See y'all.